This is a Diet for Dummy YouTube series. I'm going to go over the 3 most important factors that you need to know about calories. That's going to be easy for you to understand and even easier for you to apply. Again, obviously, if you know this information and most importantly, if you apply it. Make sure you watch it all the way through because in the 3 parts that I'm going over, you need to know which part you're in, and I'm going to give you exactly what you need to know in the phase that you're in to actually see forward progress. So the first one we're going to go over is calories. If you're in a 500 caloric deficit every week, you should be losing a pound of fat every week. Obviously, if you hit your protein, which falls under macros, we're going over that next. But first, let's go over what calories are. Calories are your energy source. And the best way that I can compare is that I want you to think of a car giving it 87 gas or 93 gas. If you do not give your car enough gas and it's riding on $5 every 2 days, guess what? It's gonna turn off on you. It's gonna give you problems, especially if you're giving it 87. This is the equivalence of being in too much of a caloric deficit and having bullshit ass foods. Now, let's just say you have your tank full, but you are on 87 gas, which is a low quality gas. Eventually, after a long enough time of doing that shit, pouring that gas, your body's gonna start to take a toll, just like your car. Even though it's always full and it might be always running, it's the incremental detrimental shit that you're doing to your body, aka your vehicle, metaphorically your car. Now let's just say you pump your car, your vehicle, your body with 93 gas, but you're still running on E. It's like being in a caloric deficit but only eating salads and dry ass chicken. Your car, your body is gonna start to break down. So what you need to do is learn how to run on full, on 93, and make sure the gas that you're pumping, you're also using. If you're not using all your gas, you're not using all your calories. Now it's like you're at the fucking gas station and you're pouring in the gas tank and you keep clicking it because you want it to get full. Then you start to pour the shit all over the engine. What's gonna happen? Of course, your engine's gonna get fucked up, aka caloric surplus. You're gonna gain weight, you're gonna get fat. Your car, your body is gonna stay still. It's gonna be parked. You're not going nowhere. So the sweet spot is putting 93 gas. That takes me to the amount of calories you should be having on a weekly basis and how much of a deficit you should be in. Your calories are measured by the week. Let's just say for number's sake, to maintain your lean body weight, you should be having 10,000 calories. Again, this does not apply to you. This is just me making it simple for you to understand. So you lose absolutely no weight at 10,000 calories. Your weekly caloric intake is 10,000 calories. If you want to lose 1 pound, which is 3,500 calories, you need to be in a 3,500 caloric deficit, meaning at the end of each week, you should be averaging to 6,500 calories. Now, if you want to go a little more extreme and lose 2 pounds per week, you need to be at a 7,000 caloric deficit from your maintenance calories. Again, this is just me putting on numbers. Some people's weekly maintenance calories are 15 to 20,000. I can get up there. Now, this next part, I'm going to teach you how many calories you should be having. So I want you to think of your dream weight. Not to your okay weight, not the weight that you felt good at. No, your healthiest, leanest, six-pack, defined, toned, strongest weight. So on average, so you know how many calories you should be having. So I'm going to give you a guesstimate of how much weight you should weigh at your best right here on the screen, all the way from 6 feet to 5 feet. Now you're gonna get this number and you're gonna multiply that by 10. So we're gonna use somebody who's 5'5", for example. You should be averaging out about 145, 155 pounds. I'm talking about lean weight. Snatch waist, developed lower body, very curvaceous, toning, defining, sexy, feminine, still muscular look up top. Multiply that by 10. That's about 1,400 calories. That's how many calories you should be having every single day. If you're 5 feet tall, you should be averaging between 110 to 120 pounds. Multiply that by 10. That is the amount of calories you should be having every single day. Now that you know your calories, download MyFitnessPal, log in your calories consistently. MyFitnessPal is going to give you different calories. Do not follow MyFitnessPal. Follow the guidance that I just gave you. And if you can hold yourself accountable to hit those calories every week, you're going to lose 2 pounds of strictly fat. That is a lot of fat. But most importantly, as you're losing this fat, you want to keep on lean muscle, which takes me into part 2 of this YouTube series, Diet for Dummies. Macronutrients. You need to know your macros, but first you need to know what macronutrients are. Macronutrients consist of 3 things: fats, proteins, and carbs. The first two you need to survive, the last one you need to perform. Let's go over the first one, which is fats. Your fats carry the nutrients that shovel them into your body. You need good fats. Most of these fats are going to come from your protein. Now you're going to have low calorie, high protein sources, which don't have too much fat, which is why they don't have too much calories. But you also need your proteins that carry this fat, like red meat, wild caught fish, your dairy, your nuts, good fats. Now, you also need to know that there's 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. That is double the amount of calories that carbs and protein has. If you have more than 20 pounds to lose, you need to know your calories and you need to hold yourself accountable to following your calories. If you don't, you need an accountability system. Doesn't have to be me. Just stop being cheap and lazy about your level up. Now we go into protein. Protein, again, is another macronutrient that you actually need to survive. Now you need to know all your macros if you have 20 or less pounds to lose. Now, if you want to build muscle, you need to know how much protein you're having, which I'm going to put it up right here on the screen. It's the equivalent to your dream weight. Have that in grams of protein every single day so you can keep on the lean muscle as you lose this weight. Now that you know your protein, go ahead and have those in gram every single day so again you can keep on your lean muscle as you bring down your body fat. The goal is to lose fat, not body weight, because most of that body weight when you lose the weight way too fast is coming off in lean muscle, and then you flatten out and you have like this SpongeBob looking body all squishy and smushy. You don't want that. And you also need to know there are different protein sources that carry all amino acids, which basically means the nutrients that your protein has. Again, you have low calorie, high protein options like chicken, turkey, egg whites, whey protein. A lot of these proteins don't necessarily have nutrients, but you need them while you're losing this weight. And then the last macronutrient, which is your favorite, carbohydrates. Again, carbohydrates like protein has 4 calories per 1 gram. Meaning you can eat double the carbs that you have fat and still have less calories in more than you do in fat. That alone proves to you that carbs are not the enemy. It's your uneducated, fear-mongering ass that watches all these dumbasses on social media telling you all the wrong shit in the middle of the grocery aisle, telling you don't eat this, don't eat this. You see this ingredient? Carbs are super bad. Yeah, carbs are super bad for the sedentary, the lazy, and the fat. Not for the performers, not for the ones that are in the gym pushing heavy weight on to build muscle, because muscle is an organ. Yes, muscle looks good, but muscle is also essential to health. It's damn near considered an organ. Now you need to know that there are 5 different types of carbs, from worst to best. First worst being processed sugar. That's the shit that you find in your Coca-Cola and your fucking ice cream. Number 2 is simple sugars. This is like white rice. These carbs have no nutrients, but their sole purpose is to give you immediate energy. Now, simple sugars also falls in the category of natural sugars. But I do like to separate the two because natural sugars are obviously very essential. They come from fruits and vegetable. And a lot of your fruits and a lot of your vegetables carry on the nutrients that we're going to go over in the last topic, which is micronutrients. The fourth one is starchy carbs. You also need those as well. And that can come in the form of white potatoes, corn, beans, and even some fruits like mangoes, pineapples, the thicker, more hairier fruits. And last but not least, you have complex carbs. Complex carbs are the only carbs that burn very slow and are stored as glycogen. The carbs that you consume turn into 2 things. Number 1 is glucose, which stays in your blood flow. This is that extra energy apart from calories that are going to allow you to lift heavier, push harder. It's like the steroid energy source of calories. You need carbs if you want to build muscle. Then you have what an excessive amount of carbs turn into, which is glycogen. This is stored in your liver and in your muscles. You also need this too. But again, if you're sedentary, sitting on the fucking couch watching this is why carbs make you fat. Because if carbs aren't being put to good use, you can eat so much of it, being a caloric surplus, and all it's gonna do is tickle your fucking balls. But that's why you're listening, because you want to eat the carbs that you like and you want to put them to good use. My goal as a certified nutrition specialist is not to teach you how to have a bad relationship with food, or a smart and strategic one. I love carbs and I use them to my advantage, like I do for all my clients during the holidays. You don't necessarily have to stop eating anything that you like to eat if you know how to utilize it. Now I'm sure you're guessing how many carbs should you have. Baseline, so I don't confuse you, match it with your protein. If you're going hard in the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week, and let's say for example you are 5'5" and your dream weight is 155. That is also your protein. What you want to do is add 10, 20, or 30 grams to that. So again, if you're going really hard, you can have up to 160, 170, or even 180 grams of carbs. Again, if you're about 5'5". I'm giving you guys a game. If you take what I'm giving you, because information is one thing, knowledge is one thing, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. You have to go apply it and execute on it. Follow fucking through. Now that you know your calories, the amount of grams and protein and carbs you should be having every day and every week, you need a fitness plan. At least a good one to complement the game that I just gave you in your diet. And if you want that, go ahead and comment the word power in the comment section and me and my team will send it all over. And I can guarantee with the numbers that I just gave you and the exercises that I'm about to give you is much more valuable than the shit you've paid for in the past. But again, you gotta apply it. Now that we know your calories and we know your macros, let's get into the last topic, which is my favorite, micronutrient. Now, you need to know that micronutrients are very important throughout your whole process, but more so when you're finally at your desired body fat and desired goal body. Because as you're going through this process, you kind of deprive yourself of a lot of nutrients, being in a caloric deficit, going very hard in the gym. But now that you get here and you kind of want to maintain, you don't want to be in such a caloric deficit and don't want to eat all these high protein, low calorie, nutrient empty foods like chicken, like turkey, like egg whites, you can start to eat more of the high nutrient dense foods. Micronutrients are what make up the nutrients that have your body functioning at a high level, which essentially make you healthy, help you live longer, help you operate at a higher level, help you have more energy, help you with mood. Being up to par in your micronutrients is what drives all the functions in your body. If you're nutrient deprived, you're moody. There's studies that this is linked to depression because your gut's all fucked up and your gut is one of the main communicators to your brain. So if you're deficient in B vitamins, magnesium, iron, that can essentially fuck up your whole day and even your whole life. So I'm not here to confuse you and get all scientific with it. I'm gonna go over some of the most important nutrients that you should start taking very serious. And again, just speaking on a general level, everybody is different. Let's start with vitamin D3. Supplementing on vitamin D3, 5,000 IUs for about 3 to 6 months will change the game for you. They say 80+% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D3. Make sure you get the 5,000 IU one. And again, not to confuse you, you can do your own research, which the ones that are listening to this are going to take this knowledge will do anyways and come back and realize that all the shit that I'm saying here is solid. The second one is magnesium. Magnesium plays over 300 roles in your body. So vitamin D3 in the morning, magnesium at night. And I just want to touch on one more, and there's many more. Fiber. Fiber is super important, and fiber is not that hard to get. Again, once you're educated on this and you start to be conscious of it when you eat the foods that you eat and you realize, holy shit, this has 4 grams, this has 6 grams, this has 10 grams. By midday, you'll already be at your daily fiber intake. So again, depending how tall and how much you weigh, just have between 20 to about 35 grams of fiber each day. A few options that I get my fiber through are wraps that I have in the morning that they call wellness wraps. I think they have about 8 or 10 grams of each and I have about 2 of those every day. If you like fruits, have kiwi, golden ones, eat it with the shell, tastes amazing. If you like mac and cheese, you could do Annie's Super Mac and Cheese. Very affordable, high nutrient dense, high protein, has its carbs, and will be a great post-workout meal. Mix it in there with some tuna. Whew, it's like that free world goulash. And if you don't know nothing about goulash, shit, you don't know nothing. But that's it, guys. Very simple, very effective. Even though I had a light go off, this YouTube had to be finished. Just dropped a whole lot of game on you guys. Most importantly is that you take this shit and apply it. Please don't tell me you just listened to this whole YouTube video and are not gonna apply at least one fucking thing. Of course you are. Go get it.